Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone, around our beloved planet. Welcome to Dr. Kathryn May's Blog Talk Radio show, Channel Panel. Today is June 25th, 2014, and tonight's program is Dr. May, God, and Guests. My name is Meg Davis, your co-host, and I'm calling in from the Atlanta area in Georgia. And Kathryn is calling in from upstate New York. Welcome, Kathryn. We're looking forward to quite an exciting show tonight.
Hi, Meg.
Hi, Kathryn. Welcome. How are you tonight?
Thank you. I'm just great. Yes, I'm here in upstate New York, and excuse me. I guess you didn't get my new title for tonight's show.
Oh, tell me.
It's Sananda and Lady Portia, and this lady, I've been told that Sananda wants me to bring Lady Portia in first to describe and explain soul projects and soul aspects. And then he's going to speak and have some interesting stuff to tell us about. So that's the agenda for tonight. Oh, also, I wanted to mention that we'll save a little time for questions, because I'm sure there will be questions with a topic like this. It's pretty new for most of us. Certainly the information they've been giving me is pretty new and interesting and sometimes astonishing. So whatever he has to say tonight, I'm sure there will be questions.
Well, that's an excellent teaser.
So we'll leave a little time for questions.
Wonderful.
And we are back from Toronto. We had a wonderful workshop there, kind of resting up for a couple of days and getting ready to see what our next project will be. As usual, we're kind of operating on, the last minute. Where we're called, we go. So we shall see.
Well, it's been working good so far, although I know sometimes it's nice to have advance notice, but it always works out, doesn't it?
Always seems to work out just great. And the Toronto workshop was so much fun. We had a few folks there from who had been in the Montreal workshop, and they drove all the way out to help out. Michael and Lonnie were just great. They did the Pillar of Light during our healing sessions and came to the visual centering workshops, and it was just great fun. I've noticed, each workshop, it just seems like it can't get any better. And it's not that each one is better, but it's just that it's so exciting, and people are getting so fired up and open and ready to learn. It's just so exciting.
Well, the pictures on the Facebook page of all of you together was beautiful. The faces were beaming.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Yeah. It was just beautiful. It was a lovely spot. They had a barn that was done over. It was a retreat center called It's All About You. It was in King City, north of Toronto. And they had taken the upstairs of a barn and, renovated it. So it was a lovely, big, open space. And some of the pictures were, I think it was Lonnie who had one of those cameras that would do like a landscape photo. So it looks like it's a huge room and we're far away, but in fact it was pretty cozy. I mean, people weren't, a half a mile away from where I was sitting when I was channeling. It was intimate, but it was spacious. It was really lovely. And the people who run the place were just very cordial and helpful. And so all in all, it was just a lovely time. And such interesting people everywhere. People are just coming into their own. And, of course, everybody's waiting for the RV. We can't wait for that. But when that happens, people have such fabulous plans and ideas. It's going to be a wonderful time. So we'll see. Feels like it's coming very soon.
Yes, it does. It's in the air.
Yes,
well, let's just do a little business. Let's just, before we get down to your wonderful channeling, let's give everybody your website and some Facebook information to follow along. Dr. Kathryn May's website is www.whoneedslight.org, whoneedslight.org. And I know Kathryn is going through some updating and getting a new webmaster and going to make it look even more wonderful than it is now. And you can hear, you can read on there Sananda's new scriptures and When God Pinched My Toe, the wonderful messages from Mother, Father, God, and other ascended masters. And then you can also find up-to-date information even quicker on the Healing for Ascension Tour Facebook page. And then if you'd like something a little bit more personal and getting to know each other more one-on-one, you can go to Healing for Ascension Tour group. And we're able to communicate back and forth and cheer each other on and really get some fun information back and forth on a more intimate level, especially if you are in an area where you don't feel like you can talk about this amazing information with anyone. It sure does provide a beautiful community, and people who have gone to Kathryn's workshops are there to give their beautiful testimonies and let you know exactly how amazing it is to work with her, and, of course, even on Skype. So even if you're not in an area where Kathryn has gone to recently or is coming, you can always contact her through her Facebook page, her website, and schedule a session one-on-one through Skype, which is wonderful. So don't wait if you don't see her coming to your area to be able to take advantage of her visual centering. It can be done that way as well. All right. Thanks, Kathryn.
Thank you. Yeah, that was great. Thank you. I always forget to mention those things. So let's see what we have in store for tonight.
All right, and we're starting with Lady Portia, yes? Wonderful.
So, yes, the first one will be Lady Portia. I'll kind of explain a little bit how this works. It's odd, when you're a lot of people who channel their higher self. And the reason they do that is because our higher self is up there or out there, has a fifth dimensional and beyond view of things. So your higher self knows you very well and also knows the things that are relevant to you and the things that are on your timeline, and also knows your soul contract. But your higher self also is the one who is connected to God, who is of the energy of spirit, and who has a higher perspective not only on you and your life, but on the universe. And depending on your higher soul and how ancient a soul you are and how many incarnations and how much experience you've had, they can be very knowledgeable about what's gone on. They also can have access to the Akashic record and other sources of information. So you can call on your higher self, and if they don't have the information you need, they can look it up for you. So we have a higher dimensional librarian as well as a guide and a helper, and the one that's often called our guardian angel. So I have been told by many that my higher self is the one that's called Lady Portia, although I don't call her that, and I certainly don't think of myself as Lady Portia. She's Portia. I'm Kathryn. But she certainly has a lot of good information. So I've asked her to, and Sananda told me he was going to ask her to give us the lowdown about soul aspects, what they are, soul projects, what they are, and how this current experience is different in this lifetime, right now, how things are being done differently. So that's what we're going to be hearing about. So that's enough of an introduction, and I will just step aside and channel Lady Portia.
Well, this sounds fascinating. I am all ears. All right. Thank you, Kathryn. I'll let you settle back and find a place of comfort. Take a couple of deep breaths, and I know Lady Portia is very close. Welcome, Lady Portia.
Thank you, dear Meg. It's lovely to be here. And this is a topic tonight I'm very happy to be talking about because I know it's something that so many people will be interested in. We've talked a little bit about twin souls and about souls and how we work, but today we're going to give you some much more in-depth information because this is a very important time and things are changing so fast. You probably have felt the energies in the last week or so are really powerful. From the central sun, there's great energy flowing across the planet, lifting everyone and also working to change your DNA. As you've been told before, it is happening. And it's happening, well, gradually, yes, but more and more quickly. The last of the changes are happening, and you're all being tuned up and ready for moving to higher dimensions. So you feel yourselves becoming lighter and lighter. Your heart's becoming lighter, we hope. Certainly you have the capacity for greater and greater love, greater connection with the higher dimensions, with your own higher self. And so we encourage you, when you meditate, feel your connection straight up through your crown chakra. Engage your heart, send the energy up through your crown chakra and plug in to your higher self, and you will get information similar to what I'm telling you tonight. You can confirm everything with your higher self, and don't forget to use your muscle testing techniques. Some people prefer their pendulum, but the muscle testing is very reliable. Just keep testing it to make sure you ask a simple question and get the confirmation that when you put your fingers together and you pull and it doesn't break, that's a yes. So practice your muscle testing so you can confirm everything. You need not just believe everything I tell you or even everything Sananda tells you. Make sure you check it with your muscle testing. And so you can be sure. So the things I have to tell you will surprise you some, I'll bet. But it's really good information and important that you all understand these things now, especially since it's all changing. Things are not being done now the way they used to be because of the fact that this is, well, the last incarnation in 3 dimensions. And so I'll bet you can guess all the masters wanted to be here. Everyone. All the ones you've heard of and all the ones you haven't heard of. Let me tell you, by the way, this tendency, especially in the U.S., that people have of wanting to make celebrities out of their ascended masters. Well, I assure you, there are many, many ascended masters, very powerful folks who are working very hard on this Ascension project, and you may not have ever heard of them. If they're not channeled by the person that you follow or someone who's gotten a big following, you might not have even heard of them. But this makes them no less important to the project. Everyone is precious. Everyone is important to this project. Even, and maybe even especially, the newbies. You call them that. People who are young souls. There are many young souls here. They may not be the ascended masters whose names you know, but they're brilliant. And they're here to learn. They're here to absorb everything they can. And so there may be some very ambitious, very smart, brilliant young souls who are here. They are every bit as precious and important as every ascended master you might have heard of, often or not at all. So I encourage you not to get caught up in the cult of those you hear about all the time, like the celebrities who are famous for being celebrities. We don't think that way in the higher dimensions. In fact, we don't even call each other by name. We know each other by our energies. And so the names that you hear, or the names that we give you, are just sort of handle we give to you. And those names may change. My name, Lady Portia, is just a formality. And the Portia part had to do with a Shakespeare play. So it's not my soul name, really. It's not my original name. Just as Saint Germain is not the original name of my twin flame. His original soul name was Ra-Ma-Di. And so many of us don't really go by our soul names unless we're talking to one another. And then we might sometimes use them as either a formality or as a little tease. And so when you hear, oh, well, there's this one and there's that one and this is their real name, well, I bet you probably don't know the real name of most of the masters who come to speak with you. But that's okay. it doesn't matter. We go by whatever name is handy and whatever name is most understandable to the culture that we're talking to. So, Father God, for instance, is known by a different name in India than he is in the United States, but it's the same Father God. And the same with many of us. Over the centuries, we've been known by different names. And our incarnations, of course, are all different names. But first, let's begin with that. An incarnation is the expression in a body. It is the body that carries the soul. Now, that's the simplest way of looking at it. One soul, one body. Occasionally, that is the way it's done. And then after that body is finished, this is the way it's been done on planet Earth in the past. After that body is finished, the soul will go back to higher dimensions, will rejoin with the greater soul, and carry back the information, the knowledge, the wisdom of every lifetime. So the more lifetimes you live, the more wisdom you develop, the more experience you've had, and so on. So it's a very good system. But that's only a fraction of how it's done. For the first few lifetimes, the person may do it that way, one soul, one body, and then when it's finished, it's finished. Well, in recent years, by Earth time, things have gotten so interesting and so complex and also so difficult here that we've taken to sending several souls in one body. That's done often. Or one greater soul may send out several incarnations at the same time. Or a greater soul may join with other souls to send two separate greater souls, two separate soul groups in a body, and one of those souls may come and go, the other one may remain. There may be more who will come and go. And these souls who come and go with a body have a contract with the person who is what we call the lead soul in that body, the one who will remain for a lifetime. Generally, that's the way it's done. Even that, and even with that, there are exceptions. There may be a soul who begins the life in a body and has a contract with, say, a master who would like to come and experience life on Earth and has something special to bring and doesn't want to have to go through the childhood and perhaps teenage years, and instead will come as a walk-in. Sometimes the original soul will leave. Other times the original soul will stay. It depends on the circumstances. You have an example now. Saint Germain accompanies the Pope. He may be there at all the important times, but he doesn't need to be there all the time. He certainly doesn't need to be there when the Pope is sleeping. And so this is the way we've done it in recent years. And in this way, a greater soul may have several incarnations going at the same time. If you have your friends helping you, they'll take over for you when you can't be there. It's a very good system. So we have, in recent years, done some pretty complex arrangements where we have 2 or 3 souls taking part. And especially in this very complex, very difficult world that you've lived in, that during this past generation, it has been very common for a number of souls to help each other to take on a project that's difficult. And so, have I confused you all completely? I hope not. But as you can tell, it's much more complex and much more intricate and much more interesting than you might have thought. I want you to try to picture this in your mind. Let's say we'll use the Jesus Project first as an example. When Sananda came to take on the job of being Jesus, he came with several friends. He did not do this alone. It would have been much too difficult. But he was what they call the lead soul, and so he is the one who generally speaks as Jesus, although the others could do so because they were there. The one you know as Saint Germain was one of those souls, as was the group entity known as El Moria, who has recently been described, I think, at the with the agreement of those who took part in this combined soul. It was H.A.R.P and Kuthumi. And now, in addition to those within who came within the body, was Maitreya, who was overseeing, overlighting, as we call it, the project of Jesus. And so Sananda had a great deal of help. And so the same with Mother Mary. There were several souls there. And the Mary Magdalene Project were several souls. In fact, the twin flames of those who were involved in the Jesus Project. And so it was a very nice arrangement where you can see it was quite a crowd, actually, all of us taking part at once. But it creates a soul memory for each one who was taking part in that project. And for each one who then goes back to their greater soul with the memory of that project, also has sent out aspects for 2,000 years. And so now the memory of that life is practically everywhere. Now, this is the way it's been working recently. You may have, everyone listening, you may have been carrying an aspect of someone, a master who came to help you. You may have given, and your higher self may have given an aspect of itself to another person who had an especially interesting or complex or difficult life, so the other person would have more than one point of view available to them. And recently, we've come to the point where everyone is reorganizing. And so the soul, the part of your soul that may have been accompanying another, is coming back to you. And the part of yourself that may have come from someone, always someone you've known and have worked with in the past and have had other lifetimes together, probably someone you'd call a soulmate. That aspect is going back to the person who was the primary, the lead soul in their body. Complicated, isn't it? So imagine you, right now, sitting in your chair, have been in more than one place in just this lifetime. It's very possible. You may find recently that you're feeling things you haven't felt before, or you find yourself with awareness that you didn't know would make sense to you. For instance, all of a sudden you're better at some skill, or you find you're having dreams or memories of things you didn't know about before. This means you have an aspect of yourself that has come back to you and has had an interesting and different experience from you. And you are now integrating that experience with your own. And so each of you, in your soul development, are taking on what might look like the symbol of the flower of life, where there's a center with one person and all their soul experiences, and another center with their soul experiences, and all overlapping and intertwined. This is what we have created in this lifetime, in this era on planet Earth. And so each one will have richer, deeper, more varied experience, all packed into one lifetime. Now, there may be some who decided not to take part in this mixing project, but I believe most did. And so you have some interesting times ahead. Untangling, discovering, understanding the new feelings and information that are coming to you. And also coming to the ones you love, to the people you've known. You may find them changing. You may notice new mannerisms or expressions or characteristics that seem just a little different from what you're used to. This means that they have brought back a soul aspect from some other body that has experienced different things. The adventurous ones have done this and have experienced remarkably different things from what the primary soul might have been doing. And so everyone is made richer. Everyone, you will notice, will become more tolerant because their experiences are so varied now. Now, it is a time of integration, of absorbing and accepting the new thoughts, the new feelings that have come into your body, unbeknownst to you, absorbing, reestablishing yourself. You will also begin to feel much more together. You know, you use that word. It's a very good description of what it feels like when all your soul aspects come back and you're back to your original. And then the feeling is, I am truly myself. I feel truly myself. All that experience is invaluable, but there's nothing like being truly yourself, is there? And this is what you all have to look forward to, this experience of feeling more solid, more comfortable, more steady, more your own authentic, precious, unique self. Breathe, dear ones. Breathe in your new feelings, your new experiences, and make them your own. It is a thrilling thing. Each of you gaining in wisdom and strength through this great experiment that has been the Soul Project, which is planet Earth. Now, I know this is going to be a difficult concept for everyone. It's not the way you've thought of it before, I'm sure, and not the way it's been taught ever before. It would have been much too complex, especially to bring up a subject like this among many who are barely used to the idea that souls incarnate. Imagine, first you have to get used to the idea. This has been the case for all of you, hasn't it? First you have to get used to the idea that souls incarnate over and over again. And now you're finding not only can your soul incarnate over and over, but your soul can incarnate in someone else's body while you're here in your own body. And maybe they're here with you. Well, now you can switch. So it will be like a great Virginia reel. Everyone reclaiming their own soul aspects, everyone establishing themselves as the truest and the deepest and the most brilliant you that you can possibly be. Wiser, more experienced, more brilliant, but more you. And so, digest this, beloved ones. We will talk about it more and give you examples, and you will begin discovering examples in yourself of memories you are surprised that you have, for instance, or past life experiences that where you're sure you were there. Well, perhaps you were, or perhaps it was the soul aspect you've been carrying who was there. Isn't that an interesting concept, that you now have the memories of the soul aspect who was visiting with you? It is a wonderful phenomenon because it means that the great oversoul, the great consciousness that we all belong to, has been reaffirmed, reconfigured, used to great advantage. And now you have shared memories with many more aspects of many other souls. And they're vivid. They're not just the knowledge or the vague memory of something that we have all experienced. These are vivid memories, are they not? And as you awaken, you will be discovering more vivid memories. And perhaps you will discover which soul aspects you are carrying. Perhaps you won't have a name for them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which soul aspects you were carrying or where your soul aspects were abiding while they were what you might call while they were out. You will all be wiser, more experienced, more worldly because of it. And when you raise your vibrations and you ascend to higher dimensions, you'll get all the details, and you'll be there to hug the ones who shared soul aspects with you. And I guarantee you there will be many. You've known the concept of soulmates, someone you run into and they seem so familiar and you suspect that you've lived other lifetimes with them. They may be someone who exchanged soul aspects with you at some time. There can be, a 3-way exchange or a 5-way exchange where you're all exchanging aspects. And no two people may have the same combination. So it has been an endlessly complex process and endlessly interesting. But of course, all of your soul contracts were designed to allow this. And it's all been carefully taken care of and recorded. Never fear. When you come to higher dimensions, it will all be available in the Akashic record. But when you raise your vibration and you begin to see things from a higher dimension, you will begin to know that feeling of just knowing in your heart that something is true and familiar. And so, that is my information for you today as a kind of introduction and instruction that will give you a background so that Sananda will come and speak to you and have some very interesting information to tell. But this is the background information you needed in order to understand the things that he will be telling you about. So we will be happy to answer your questions if not tonight, then in the coming weeks. And I will give another message, a written message, so that this will all be written down and available to you to read again if you wish. And so I'm delighted to be here and to be able to introduce this very exciting information to you. And you will, I hope, be able to explain it to your friends, the ones who are open, of course. The ones who are not so open, probably not a good idea to tell them all the most complex part of what I've told you, but introduce them to the idea of incarnation and living lives in many different bodies and what an advantage that is. They'll get the hang of it soon enough. And now, I send you endless love. I'm delighted to be here among these brilliant souls who are so open and so filled with love and so curious. I now turn this back to our beloved Meg and let her introduce Sananda. Greetings, Meg. Are you there?
Yes, beloved Lady Portia, I am. Thank you so much for your message. It was an eye-opener and very interesting.
I hope it was clear, dear. I hope I didn't confuse everyone with my descriptions, but I think that this very brilliant group is going to latch on to this information and be very pleased at being able to understand themselves and others better because of it. And now I will say namaste to all. Namaste, dear.
Namaste, beloved Portia. Thank you so much. Welcome, Kathryn.
Hi. It's raining like here.
Is that what that was? I was like, you got some popcorn going, but then it went on so long, I thought, no, that's not popcorn. That's something else.
It's rain on the roof, and I have a skylight here, and it's just pouring on the skylight and the thunder and lightning. So, okay, we send energy to this connection.
We have much we need to hear. Yes, no interference from that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Kathryn. That was a wonderful message. What an interesting message. I think this is going to be food for fodder for many conversations.
Good. Well, I'm going to go back and listen to it again. I had a preview of what she was going to talk about, but it's interesting to listen to it being told. I'll have to go back and see what was.
Well, I was really fascinated. Yeah, I was really fascinated when she was talking about what we, not only just the information about how the souls are playing together, but also what we might feel when the integration process takes place. And that was very helpful because I think a lot of people are probably experiencing many things that might be quite confusing or just curious. And she gave us some really wonderful examples of if you find yourself suddenly with a new skill or a new talent that you hadn't had before, or affinity for something that was new, or if you're finding yourself dreaming about completely different places that are not what you considered your context for this lifetime, and they seem very real, or you're finding you're having new feelings and drawn to new things, or when the soul aspects come back together. So that was very helpful because I think a lot of people at this time are probably experiencing those. So it was lovely to hear that this is what may be going on and how to embrace it and work with it to your advantage and celebrate it.
Great.
Oh,
yes.
Great. Mm-hmm.
It is such an incredible time now. My goodness. Whoever thought all of this was going to be happening? When we said yes to Ascension, we had no idea what we were getting in for.
It's like a spiritual orgy of the best kind. It's just fascinating. I loved your example of the Virginia reel. It's like a Virginia reel, all grabbing each other together and do-si-doing through the years. It was a great metaphor.
Oh, all right. Let's see what Sananda has to say.
Wonderful. Okay. Wonderful. We'll just let Kathryn get settled and get comfortable. And it sounds like the rain is giving us a little bit of a break right now, which is wonderful.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. All right. Let's just let Kathryn get a few deep breaths and get centered and get ready to welcome our beloved Sananda. Welcome, Sananda. We are so happy you are here with us.
Greetings, beloved. Oh, yes. What a pleasure it is to be here. And I really appreciate the introduction that our beloved Portia gave you because this is a rather complex topic, at least compared to what everyone believed, I think. So we did tell you a while back about the Jesus Project and sort of helped you to get ready to understand these things. But, of course, everybody thought, oh, well, that was just Jesus. That doesn't have anything to do with me. But, in fact, I have said this to all of you in many lifetimes. This, too, you shall do, and more. Well, here you are in this lifetime, and many, many of you have come as soul projects. Isn't that exciting? And you're only just beginning to understand what that means and who the others are that have joined with you. You have quite a lovely discovery ahead. It will be fun sorting out which was a visitor and which was your true self, and which is now the part that is coming back to you, reignited with new information and new feelings. It's very exciting. And of course I have been involved in such projects more than one time, and it is, I can tell you, a wonderful thing. So let me tell you how things are now. You know, this period right now, as Portia has told you, is an era where everything is being done differently. Well, not everything, but many things are being done differently. As far as these soul projects are concerned, much is being done differently because everyone wanted to be in on it. You know, you've heard, everybody wanted to be here now. And so there are more than 7 billion souls on the planet. Well, I can tell you now there are many more than 7 billion souls here, because there are many who are sharing a body. Maybe sometimes 3 who are sharing a body. It depends on the assignment that the person has taken on. Many of the difficult assignments are truly a group of souls. Now, I do have some information for you. It is time for me to acknowledge that I have incarnated here on planet Earth, and so has my beloved Lady Nada. Now, let me review for you. I am not Jesus. I am the one who was the primary soul. We called it the lead soul, the one who experiences the birth and the death and so on. And as you now know, most of what they've told about my life was not very accurate. And I have been filling that in for you in my autobiography and the new scriptures. So there's much for everyone to learn. Well, let me give you a little information. You may have, many of you may have guessed, but it's time for me to acknowledge the one who is the incarnation of my greater soul, that is, I who am speaking, the one who is my incarnation, is the one that you call Obama. Yes, it is true. Barack Obama, the one who walks among you, is truly me, Sananda. You thought I would come in robes. You thought I would get off a spaceship. You thought I would somehow be marked in some extreme way. Well, President of the United States is extreme enough for me. It was a difficult project, another difficult project, and we joined, several of us. Yes, I have friends with me helping. It was important to send a being, to create a being, really, who could withstand the attacks and the traumas that the president has experienced. You know, you've been told recently, we in the higher dimensions do not feel the pain when you prick your finger. It's not like that. We experience what we see. We experience what's happening. We hear the thoughts. We know what you're feeling, but we are a little apart, and this is why we can be helpful. Not apart in the sense of disconnected. We are completely connected to you. In fact, we are you. It's the physical sensations we don't feel. And that's just as well, because it means that we can provide solace and comfort to you when it is so often needed. Now, I know many of you are thinking, well, you've been told that the president was from the Council of Sirius. Well, this is true. I have also taken part in that soul project. You see, we do manage to be in many places at once. And those who have lived many lives and have gained in soul strength have the ability to be in many places at once. And so you may hear, oh, well, no, that can't be Obama because Obama is the one from Sirius. Well, yes, that's true. All of us can incarnate on other planets, and we have, as you probably have. But of course, our beloved Mother Earth is our main focus and our special love. And so, I've come to help out. We have remained quiet in this incarnation for a reason. There was a great danger in sending the one you call Barack Obama here. There was great danger in his simply becoming the president as a black man, as one whose views are a little different from the mainstream. It has been a very careful time. We do not advertise. We do not make a show of what we feel, of what we believe in. He has been working very quietly behind the scenes, aligning with many who are of like mind, carrying out the difficult assignment of being the president during a time of upheaval, discord, and great unpleasantness within the United States, within the government itself. There are those who truly would wish to be done with him. Well, we've experienced that before, haven't we? There are many who have tried to eliminate him in one way or another. There have been attempts on his life. They've been kept very quiet. He is under protection, of course. Now, I use he to describe Barack Obama, but in fact, I am the one you call Obama. Oh, I know. I know there will be those who will say, that's impossible. This is an imposter. Sananda could not say that. The one who is Jesus could not be Obama because look at him. He has done such a terrible job. Well, it does look that way, doesn't it, sometimes? The job we have done is not the job you thought we were doing. The real work has been very much behind the scenes. Very few know what Barack Obama has actually done. Only his closest associates and friends, and of course, his beloved wife, Michelle. Now, let me tell you about Michelle. Michelle is my beloved twin flame, Lady Nada. She has recently, well, could we call it taken back, recollected, resumed, being the whole that is Lady Nada, and has given up many of the facets and aspects that she was carrying of other soulmates. There were many who experienced the thoughts and the feelings and the psychology of being Lady Nada. It is a gift that we give freely so that many could experience what it feels like to be Lady Nada. But now it is time for all of you to reclaim those parts of yourself that have been visiting with others, to reorganize and restore yourself to the brilliant and powerful beings that you are. And she is doing the same. And so is he. So we have had friends accompanying us. Michelle has had several other soul aspects with her. Quite a few, really. And so has Barack. But now it is the time for everyone to be restoring themselves. And as you were told before, since all the masters want to be here, it was agreed that as we reach the fruition of this project, we will each reclaim our aspects, the aspects of our souls, and we will each come into the fullness of our being. And so it is a wonderful time for everyone. Now, Lady Portia has just told you, it doesn't matter what name you go by. Of course, I guess it matters to everyone if we say that Barack Obama is the incarnation of the one who was Jesus, but we may have to do some explaining there. He is the incarnation of Sananda. And now he has taken back the aspects, and he is the true incarnation of Sananda, just as Michelle is the true incarnation of Lady Nada. And that means she is not Mary Magdalene, because Mary Magdalene was a group of souls. He is not Jesus, because Jesus was a soul project. So, you understand now. And I can tell you, I am delighted to have been asked to do this this remarkable responsibility, this center of activity and creating what matters in the world. It has been a thrilling experience. And to have played the role of the one who is the first black president of the United States, I am so thrilled to have been given this opportunity. I cannot tell you. My heart fills with joy when I tell you this has been a thrilling experience. And soon as things begin to unfold, you will learn. I have been working for all of you. We have been working hard to create the new paradise that you have been promised. It will happen, beloved ones. It is happening now. The prosperity, the peace, all is coming to be. All is coming to fruition. You have not seen a great deal of your president in recent months because it has been important for him to remain safe. Others are working as his emissaries, and there are many among them who will surprise you as well. Many who are deeply committed to this project of creating the world that you envision. And the more you envision it, the easier it becomes for us to help create it. And may the blessings pour from the sky the way the rain is coming down now where we are. It is a glorious evening. Thunder and lightning and rain pouring down just where it's needed, just when it's needed. It is the beginning of summer in the Northern Hemisphere. And what a summer it will be. Now I'll give you one more image to carry. You have seen the love between Barack Obama and his beloved twin flame. There are many who have said, they must be twin flames because they are so loving with one another. It is true. And now you know the explanation. And their beloved children feel the deep love and commitment of their parents, the absolute unconditional love that each one feels for the other. It is more than what you've thought, but some of you have already seen. They are working day and night to create the glorious world that will be your paradise. It has been difficult. There are times when it was so difficult, we weren't sure it would happen. But each time you came together, you raised the vibration on the planet, you created an explosion of love, of hope, of exhilaration and positive feeling. Yes, it has been difficult. The past weeks have been very difficult. Since the April 10-day window, when the energies were rising so intensely, you have experienced a new dust up, let's say, of the dark, the ones who were left. It has recently been described as something like the way homeopathic medicine works. As the element is diluted and reduced and made smaller, it becomes more and more toxic. And so you've seen around the world and in your own backyard explosions of darkness and pain, accusations. Across the world, there are pretenses, there is misinformation, there is propaganda everywhere being promoted and put out in a steady stream. You hear stories from Iraq, for instance. Oh, Maliki is going to be elected again. Well, nonsense. There's nothing of the kind happening. But a constant stream of propaganda and promotion for those who wish to gain ascendance as one last grasp at power in nearly every country. Probably every town there is someone trying to boost themselves into a position of power. It is coming to an end. Beloved ones, be assured, it is coming to an end. And it is coming to an end because you are holding fast and standing against the darkness. And the more you do that, the more intensely you hold your line with what they call heart, the kind of heart that means strength and integrity. The more you hold out for the light, the more quickly it will be defeated. And so I send you my love, my encouragement, my respect and gratitude. I see how hard you're working. I see how many of you have been under attack. In one way or another, each one of you is now being asked to walk toward the light, to turn your back on the old ways, the old methods, the old tricks, and to walk forward into the light, embracing the ones who walk with you. It is a glorious time. You must now step forward and be completely fearless, for the time of darkness and fear is behind you. All of it will fade away into the darkness until it will become a part of history. But you will know, beloved ones, you have been there. You have been here to see it. You have been aware. You are asked to join. Support the one you call Barack Obama. Think about it. Look at him with new eyes. See that he has been very careful, very steady, very quiet. Because if he had put on a big show, like those who are his supposed enemies, if he had put on a big bragging show and threatened and thrown his weight around, we never would have accomplished what we have, quietly, behind the scenes. You will learn. You will learn soon of the many things that have, well, many of them have been begun but not completed until there is some cooperation. We hope that those of you who are capable of simply sending love and support, that you will do that. It is a difficult time and a difficult position, as you know. He is trying to change the world, just as you are. Join together all the souls, all the brilliant souls that have now reorganized, happily restored themselves to wholeness and completion and greater brilliance than ever. Join together as one. And we will sing together. We will celebrate together. We will be triumphant. It was lovely telling you this story. I hope it doesn't shake people too badly. I think if you simply let yourselves be at ease and just consider what I've said, it will all begin to make sense to you. It is a lot to understand, but it is a time when all new information, all new ways of being will be accepted, because, of course, how else do you change the world but to change yourselves, to change what you've always known and believed in, to open your minds? It doesn't matter, does it? If you find out that red is blue and orange is pink, all these things will be happening. Things you couldn't have imagined, you will be learning. This is just the beginning. And you'll find, as you learn these new things, you'll find that the things you're learning are even better than you thought it would be. Even more interesting, even more wondrous, even more exciting than you thought possible. This is what you all have to look forward to, beloved ones. All new, all bright and shiny. And it will be so much more fun. We look forward to celebrating with you and dancing in the streets just as we promised. I promised you I would walk among you again. And I have kept my promise. I love you all endlessly, endlessly. I reach my hand out to all of you with blessings, with gratitude, and with joy. Namaste. I am your Sananda.
Namaste, Sananda. Thank you so much for your message and your truth. We are so grateful to hear this news of who you are. What a blessing to know this. Thank you. Welcome, Kathryn.
Hi.
Oh, my goodness. I'm so glad I was muted. You didn't hear me go, oh, my goodness. Wow.
I heard earlier today from Sananda, he was playing We Are the World all afternoon. So I talked to him a number of times, and just, not too long ago, he told me what he was going to say today. And I went, really? You want me to say that?
You want me to say that?
And he said, yes. And I went, oh, my gosh. This is going to cause some questions. Oh, my gosh. Well, okay. If you say so. Time to make the announcement? My goodness.
Oh, my. We must be so close if this is coming out.
Oh, if he's revealing this now? Oh, yes. My gosh.
Yes.
What does this all mean?
Oh.
It's fabulous.
It's fabulous. And to hear
I
the
can't
love.
even begin. I mean, I haven't had time to really let it sink in, but I always suspected that Obama was somebody really special.
Mm-hmm.
And I sensed that a lot was going on that we didn't know about. But I have a feeling we maybe know 2% of what's really going on and of what has really been happening. It just seems like everything is coming forward new. Yikes.
I know. And what the really beautiful thing you said, how else are we going to change the world if we don't change our minds, change our beliefs? It's going to be even funner, even more than we ever thought possible. And I'm over here going, woo-hoo, right? This is just going to be amazing. But, for all that he said, you cannot doubt one moment when you see them look at each other. It's just so breathtaking when they're together. It just gives me chills. And so it was just lovely to hear him talk about that and what that twin flame union must look and feel like. It's very evident.
I've always thought, if nothing else, they were a wonderful model for how a husband and wife should behave toward each other. They're just beautiful. Well, now we have a sense of why.
Wow, this is just so exciting. I'm surprised our whole board is not lit up back and forth, but we have 3 beautiful souls just with their constant questions, which is just fine, but I am like, I think people are still gulping water after that announcement.
Well, it was pretty clear, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very clear.
Maybe there aren't many.
Maybe we're ready. Maybe we're ready. Maybe this is not a shock as much as they thought.
Well, let's go ahead and answer our questions.
Okay.
And then we will close the show. And
nobody else coming in tonight?
This.
We're going to stop with that. Wonderful. Okay, good.
So let's start. Here's 450. And the last numbers are 0417. Let's
I don't see that one, so go ahead and open that one up. I don't have that
450, it's right below my number. Oh, dear. Well, my panel is not working very fast right now. Might have to do with this storm we're experiencing. I'm not getting this one to go on. You don't see a 450 number right below my...
I don't. I have a 703 number right below yours.
Huh, okay, so let's go to that one then.
Okay, so I'm going to open up the line, area code 703, ending in 2426. Please let us know your name and where you're calling from. Hello.
Hello, my name is Harry Sheets, Reverend Harry Sheets.
Well, Harry Sheets, I know your name.
Yes.
Hello, welcome.
Thank you, and thank you. I can't hardly catch my breath with Jesus saying, and it just, I thank you for your disclosure. Thank you for the gorgeous messages of love and caring for us all these years since you appeared as Jesus. It's just overwhelming my beingness right now, and I also thank Lady Portia for how she set us up for this big surprise announcement, and how beautiful she led us into it. It was just very, very well done, and I'm so appreciative of it. I do have a question for Sananda, if I may.
Okay, this is Kathryn. I'll see if I can call him back in. Why don't you ask the question, and then we'll have him come back.
Well, there was one suggestion too, is that if you would put the pictures of you folks with your name on it, so we could get everybody straight,
right.
Including, Father God's son, Saraya, and so forth, and what Kathryn looks like and her name under, and so forth, and Peter, and on and on. That's just a thought.
Well, I don't have any control over those things, but my picture is on the Blog Talk Radio website. We don't have Meg's picture there, which we need to do.
How about Meg's picture? And just to get a feeling, this is how we are in the third dimension. We need to see a face with a name in the picture, So,
sure. Well, that's a good
really
idea. We'll put a new picture of Meg up there so everybody can see her smiling face, because she is a beauty.
I had Anne and Kathryn mixed up for months and months.
Oh, well, we're very different. I'm the one who channels, and this panel is my station. So, yeah.
The question I have is for Sananda.
Yes.
And if he could possibly stop the chemtrails, maybe Lord H.A.R.P, his captain, and him as admiral, he could ask them to just disable the planes, not hurt any of the pilots, just disable the planes. I was out in California giving several spiritual talks and readings and so forth, and there were 12 traces of chemtrails in the sky. When I looked up in the sky, it's normally pure blue. It was just terrible, and it stayed up there for so long. You could just tell how the terrible energy was coming down on us, not only the light, but everybody else. And we understand that Jesus loves us all, and we would certainly all appreciate chemtrails being stopped. If we could do that, it would be very, very much appreciated. And I'm so thankful for his disclosure tonight. And it gives us a new impetus, I think, in supporting Barack Obama and Michelle. And we're so blessed to have them.
Yes, we are blessed. And more than we knew,
Yes.
It's wonderful. Well, thank you for your question. And let's see, I'll bring him back and see what he has to say. And
please, I have to put that in there. And we're so blessed to have you and hang in there for so long, and with so much, thoughts about what's really going on. And
thank you.
Very hard for us to believe some of these things, with our religious training, quote. So, and you've done such a beautiful job, and I'm so appreciative of you as a beautiful being of God.
Oh, well, thank you, Harry. And thank you for your work as well. And welcome to the show. We're happy to have you here. So let me step back, and we'll call Sananda back and ask him about this, because there are many people who have been asking. We've told the chemtrails should be gone by now, but let's ask Sananda about it and see what he says. Okay, I'm going to step aside, and we'll ask him to come back. He's listening. Okay, I'll step aside.
Okay, we'll just give Sananda a few seconds to switch over and answer our wonderful question I'm sure is on many people's minds. Welcome, Sananda.
Yes, dear Meg, and I agree. We need a picture of you.
Very good.
Harry was right. You should be featured there, your beautiful face, so everyone will know you.
Thank you.
All right. Well, the issue about chemtrails. You have probably heard recently that the H.A.R.P system is being dismantled. Now, these things have been very quietly done in the background. Of course, your president in the U.S. has wanted this all along, has very much wanted to eliminate all of these things immediately. But, of course, it couldn't be done. It had to be gently, carefully, shoehorned out of existence. And so it has been said, Father God has said, that the chemtrails are now harmless. Well, Father God has been the one who has been very much in charge of the cheerleading and the foresight of helping everyone to raise their vibration, to experience the joy and the hope that is just the next step ahead of you on the timeline. I think you understand that now, that sometimes the things that he said, and Saint Germain and I have done the same, sometimes the things we said were just about to happen. And we would give you the news that it has happened, because from our perspective, it has happened. It is not a lie. It is not a manipulation. It is simply giving you the information that you have already done this. It is now playing out. Now, the chemtrails. It is done. And there will still be a few more incidents where we have to clean it up, where we have to eliminate the airplanes and the pilots and so on completely. Now, the sightings have reduced considerably. There are many fewer airplanes up there. There are many fewer chemtrails. And there are your galactic brothers and sisters constantly at work taking the toxins out of the air. And so although there may be some pilots up there still, making designs in the sky, you are not on the ground breathing the toxic chemicals that you were breathing in the past. We're working very hard. H.A.R.P and his crew, I assure you, are working very hard to eliminate the toxins that are being put out, and also to reduce, this is part of what is being done behind the scenes, to change the formula of the chemicals that are being spread in the atmosphere. They are less toxic than they used to be, and they are being eliminated day by day. There will be no more cancer being caused. There will be no more birth defects because of it. Because until we're able to keep all the planes on the ground, your brothers and sisters are clearing the toxins from the sky. So you may still see some patterns in the sky. But be assured, beloved ones, you are not being poisoned any longer. You were. You were being poisoned. And as of a few months ago, we've been able to increase the effectiveness of our clearings and decrease the number of chemtrails being produced to the point where we now have reached 0. So you still will see some chemtrails for a short while longer, but the toxins will not be falling on you. You may see the sky darkened a bit. It's mostly steam and, water vapor that's being produced. And those who are doing it are being tested. Will these people, in these final days, be willing to turn their backs on the thing that perhaps pays their mortgage? Will they be able to refuse to do this any longer? Because there are many, the pilots, for instance, people who work in the factories, who were not the instigators, who were not the ones who created these programs. We could not simply take away the programs completely because it would have left whole towns, whole families without a means of supporting themselves. And so we decided to go the quieter way, which is to clean the skies and the water and the air, because we do have the technology to do so. The same has been done with the nuclear toxins coming across the oceans. They are being cleaned up. So, yes, there have still been some toxins produced, but little by little they are being eliminated. And some of it will be by attrition. And I assure you, as soon as the RV takes place, you will see a tremendous change in your world. Because all the people who are of the light, who are good and decent folks, will stop doing whatever job had anything to do with the cabal. This is the tour de force that you're about to experience. Nothing will be the same, because people who really, truly did not want to do what they were doing will no longer do it. And you will see a new kind of freedom in your skies and on the ground. And I guarantee you, beloved ones, those airplanes will have no one to fly them. Those factories producing the poisons will have no one to run the factories, to produce those poisons. And so Mother Earth will heave a sigh of relief, as will all of you, but I assure you, it is done. Namaste. I hope I've answered your questions.
Thank you, Sananda. Yes, that was very helpful to hear.
Okay.
Well, I don't know about the rest of the country, but I just looked up in my skies today. It was so beautiful with all the rich white clouds, and I said, I haven't seen a chemtrail in my area for over 2 months. And we would get them all the time. So I have already seen a big change in Georgia, and I'm sure that's a very common thing throughout the country, even though there still might be some here and there. But there is a change very significantly. So hopefully Harry will see that too very soon.
Yes, I've noticed that. I'm not in New York City anymore, but I'm north of the city, and we used to see them here all the time. And I've seen those big, puffy white clouds and beautiful blue skies. It's different.
Yes, the clouds are extraordinary.
And it smells good. You know, they're the kind of clouds I remember from childhood. Not those like wispy gray things that used to be, I think, the result of the chemtrails, probably.
Probably so, but it's a different sky. I think all of us are talking about that. Different sky altogether. All right. So wonderful.
Okay.
That was a great reassurance.
Yeah,
all right,
and a good question.
Yes.
So thanks, Harry.
Yeah.
All right. So the other folks that had questions have apparently put their hands down, so maybe that did it.
Well, I have about 4 on my screen. Do you want to answer a few more?
Oh, do you? Oh, my screen's behind the times. Okay. I'll let you handle it.
Okay, super. All right, I'm going to open up area code 212, ending in 6780. Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Meg. I'm Donna from New York City. Hi, Kathryn.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, Donna. Welcome.
How's everyone?
Wonderful.
Great. Your question?
Good. Yes. This is a very beautiful message from Sananda. It was very, very touching and very, very loving. And I think there is a beautiful symmetry in the fact that Sananda was incarnated as Jesus and is now incarnated as Obama.
Yeah.
Certainly, don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean, people to change the world, right? I mean,
yes.
That seems to be the theme of tonight, in any case. So my question, well, actually, were a lot, but so is it? I guess who was speaking tonight? Would that have been? Well, I understand it was Sananda, but Sananda is incarnated as Barack Obama,
right?
So he did. Did he say at one point that he was speaking to us as Obama?
No, I think he I felt Sananda the whole time, but yes, Sananda is the higher self of Obama.
Okay.
So if he's speaking as himself, he is speaking as Barack Obama, because Barack Obama is, you know, they're one and the same.
Do you think that Obama is a soul project? Are there other people?
I think he was. I think he was a soul project, but as Sananda has told me, that it's all reshuffling now. Everybody's like going back to their original soul.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess if he was a project, then he's not going to be anymore. He'll be.
Would Sananda say who else was with him?
I don't know.
He didn't tonight. He did not identify the other
he didn't
project.
tell me when I was. I didn't ask actually.
Mm-hmm.
But he did say that he is now just Sananda, incarnated.
Mm-hmm.
There was
mm-hmm.
not a project any longer. It was just the one incarnation and the one soul.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
As all of us are going to be. We're all going to be uniquely ourselves and 100% the soul that we really are.
And so then when Obama ascends, as it were, he will ascend he will be Obama, and Sananda will be in his own body?
Yeah, let's talk about this. This is confusing to a lot of people. The difference between an incarnation and a greater soul, and a soul. So all of us have had other incarnations where we came to Earth and we had different names.
Yes.
Once you finish an incarnation here, the way it's always been done, when you finish an incarnation here, you go to the higher dimensions and you rejoin with your higher soul.
Mm-hmm.
So most of the people who have been on the Earth as, incarnated have gone back to their greater soul. Now they, I think, can still come forth if they want to speak, but generally we go back to our greater soul. Mm-hmm. So this time we're going to ascend, and we're going to join with our greater soul, because we've been talking about that, right?
Yes.
Being connected with your higher self.
Yes.
Higher self, greater soul, it's the same thing. So we are a part of our higher self. And when we connect with our higher self, we feel the energy and the power of our higher self. So in effect, we are our higher selves. Mm-hmm. It's a matter for us of getting the feel of that and learning about that, which is new. It's not taught in any of the religions that I know of.
Right.
So we're just kind of getting the hang of all this and what it means. But when you connect with your higher self, the analogy would be Barack Obama is connected with his higher self. Now, that higher self sometimes refers to himself as Sananda. I don't know, maybe he has an ancient soul name that is different. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But that's the name we think of for his higher self.
Now we do in his case, right?
Yeah, well, that's how he describes it. So he calls himself, his higher self, Sananda.
I see. Oh, so he's aware then. He's aware.
Yeah, yes, sure.
And Michelle is also aware. They're both aware that
if she was,
incarnation.
I'm sure Barack has told her.
By now, you mean?
Yeah, I think they are aware, yes.
I see. Okay. Well, it's a lot more to learn about this, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. But thank you for those answers.
Donna, for your
I appreciate
question.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good question. Thanks.
Thank you. Take care.
Okay.
Good. Let's go to area code opening up 215, ending in 5084. Welcome.
Aware. They're both aware that
she was
incarnation.
Sure, Barack
we've got a computer on. So let's go ahead and step away from the computer. Area code 215, 5084.
There's quite a delay, so are you there? Oops. Meg?
Area code 215. Okay, we'll go ahead and close that one. And we'll go on to area code 206, ending in 8801. Welcome.
Hi, Kathryn. This is Linda.
Hi, Linda.
How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Good. First of all, I want to tell you I'm sending a little gift to your dog, and don't think I've gone around the bend when it gets there.
Oh, well, he does have a fun club. So.
Well, you may
Linda, you didn't say where you're from.
Washington, Seattle.
Okay. And by what good fortune are we getting presents for Mr. Che?
Well, you said something the other day that made me. I was working on this for him. I wanted him to have it before you went up in the mountains, but unfortunately, I didn't get it finished in time. And then you said something on the phone in the last couple of weeks. You complained about your arm going to sleep. And I thought, gee, if the dog doesn't like it, maybe Kathryn will. So,
let's see. I'm not going to guess what it is, but
don't even try.
Cute. Well, I've communicated with Linda by email a few times, and we had some fun exchanging information. So that's sweet of you, Linda.
It'll be on its. I'm sending it to New York now, to your, I guess, a local address there for you somewhere. I guess that's the address for you to pick up mail. Would it not?
Yeah, that's where I get the mail. Well, thank you, sweetie.
Okay. Now, my question concerns the light chambers. And about a week ago, I think Sananda was speaking of light chambers as existing, and I'm assuming on Earth as though they were internal within each of us, in our minds. Our minds were, but I
partly.
don't know. I'm guessing. Then yesterday, Sheldon Niddle spoke about us sliding into light chambers for 3 days. Now, that sounded like an external light chamber. And I'm wondering if they're the same kind of thing, or do they have different applications? That's one question.
I don't know the final answer to this, and I don't know if it's the time to ask Sananda about this, but what the information we got recently was Starship Terra is our healing chamber. That our Earth herself is becoming the healing chamber. As she raises her vibration and we raise ours, we are living in a healing chamber.
Boy,
it's all around us.
That's esoteric for me. But I'll wait and see where all that's leading. Maybe there will be more about it in the next.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be.
And then my next question is that there's hardly ever any discussion about animals, and I'm wondering, since Sananda said that every being, every plant, every animal, and so on would be ascending.
Right.
And so my question is, how are our animals, whether they're dogs or cats or some other small animal, how are they affected more specifically? If a dog is already highly evolved, what would be his destiny after ascension?
Oh, who knows? I think you'll have to ask your dog. I think we each...
I'm asking him to stay with me, but maybe I'm being selfish if
we all have free will.
if I'm curtailing his.
I'll tell you a story that really helped me, and then we'll apply it, extend it to whatever we are experiencing now. Of course, we're assuming we are not going to die. We're going to continue on, and I'm assuming our animals will do the same. But we always, and maybe their souls are as fluid as we're hearing ours are. So who knows what their destiny will be, but certainly they'll have choices just like we do. So I'll tell you the story. Before I got Che, I had a wonderful little dog who was a little white, adorable Shih Tzu toy poodle who was my pal. And she went everywhere with me. And about, maybe 7 or 8 years ago, we had a very unusual day, and she was clinging to me and wanted to be in my arms all day long, which is not, she was pretty independent. She would sit with me and sleep on my pillow, but she wasn't clingy during the day. And I live in the country, and a car pulled in and turned around in my driveway and ran over her. And I was just heartbroken. I just didn't know what to do. She died a few hours later. And I called someone who is a channeler. And I said, I just want to know that she's okay. And, check on her. And here's what I was told. Not only is she okay, but she's already joined with your soul.
Oh, my gosh.
And then I was told the story. When you have an animal that is so close to your heart that it feels like this is a member of your family or a part of you, this is how I asked the question. I said, do animals have their own soul? And I was told, yes, they have their own soul. But when you have an animal that's so close to you, they call it a familiar. And that animal then has the option to give up their soul and become a part of yours.
Oh,
and
my
so
gosh.
Your beloved animal can join with you and become a part of your soul.
Well, I hope I hope it wouldn't be better if I joined him.
Well, you may have that choice too.
But he's
that's good.
He does seem very, very evolved, and it's like we knew each other from the moment I first laid eyes on him, and he looked into my eyes, and he's done that ever since. Well, this is what my dog was like, and I can tell you, after she passed, I had this uplifting. It was so amazing that she was just pure light and joy. Her tail never stopped wagging. She was so friendly and absolutely adored people, would just leap on people and kiss them all over. She was so expressive. And after this happened, I almost felt like I could wag my tail. There was just this feeling. I just felt like she was with me. Oh, my. Well, I do feel better now. I really do, because I've been very worried about him. He's getting up in years, and I keep saying to him, wait for me. Please wait for me.
Oh, and you can be sure. It will be delightful, and it will be fair.
Well, that's wonderful, but I tell you, thing, I'm sending you Milo love so much. I'm sure one of the two of you will.
Well, thank you, Judy. Okay, and thank you for your question. I think that was important for a lot of people.
Oh, wonderful. I'm sure it's been really bothering me. And I keep waiting for more information coming along this way. And, there is a woman, she's a Rockefeller, Jean Rockefeller, who has a horse that she calls a watcher. And this horse, I guess, she is able to tap in to whatever this horse is communicating. And I thought, how interesting, but I hesitated at the Rockefeller name, to be honest with you.
Well, I think what you're talking about is something we are all going to be doing a lot more of, because I can sometimes hear what the animals I live with are thinking, and we're getting better and better at communicating with trees. So anything is possible now. Don't eliminate the possibility for yourself that you can talk to your pet directly.
Okay. All right. And when you're back in channeling again, thank Sananda. That was a wonderful call, and what a blockbuster. You're just full of them.
He's listening. He knows what's going on now. So thank you, Judy.
Linda.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, we'll close your line.
All right, we've just got one call left. We're going to open up area code 607, ending in 3974. Welcome.
We've got somebody else.
Hello.
Hi, welcome.
You'll have to turn off your computer.
Turn off the computer.
Yeah, I did. This is Audrey from Norwich, New York. Hi, Kathryn.
Hey, Audrey.
I went on vacation for a little bit, and I missed out. Have they said anything about the people that were on the Flight 370?
Nothing yet. No news at all.
And they're supposed to be in Hollow Earth and here and there, and I'm waiting for them to come out and be on TV.
Yeah, so are we. But we've leaped so many timelines, and things are changing so fast. Who knows? I mean, what's going to happen next? It's really hard to predict. But you'll be the first to know if I get a message. I'm going to ask for more information about that.
Yeah, that'd be good, because I guess it ties in with all the other things that are going to come out all at once. It seems like everything's going to hit us all at once like this. It's like
well, I guess tonight's just the beginning.
I know that was great. I suspected that anyway.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm glad that you have a way of letting us all know about what's going on too. I keep getting people calling me up like, "What's going on next? What's going on next?"
Oh, good. Well, tell them to join us.
And more people are wanting to gather and talk about the new changes and what can we do to help this along. And I keep telling them to send light to the White House and light into all the places where they're having the over the Middle East and places that really need light. So hopefully.
Yes.
So,
all right. Well, I will ask to get some more information.
Yeah, that'd be good. All right.
Oh, and
thanks.
Have a written message.
Okay. Have a good week.
Thank you. Bye, Audrey.
Bye.
We just had one other person pop their hand up. Would you like to take that one, Kathryn, or?
Okay, one more.
One more. Okay, we're opening up area code 239, ending in 6562. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. And your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Jackie calling from Florida.
Hi, Jackie.
And I don't know whether I should say anything or not. I feel sort of confused because I'm usually so full of love and light when I've heard your show. I admire it so much, you and everyone. But tonight, I have to say that I was shocked by the news about President Obama. I have felt that he's been divisive, and a weak president. And the country and the world, many look at him as a weak person. Now, I want to be open to change and tolerant, and I was very upset by the news tonight, rather than, I usually walk away on air after I've heard your show. But tonight I was so upset, and I thought, well, if he's Jesus, is he going to be in office for another 2 years? I hope Jesus' love and the ability to bring people together emerges, rather than his divisiveness in dividing the country and going around Congress, ignoring them, and the whole world is sort of laughing at him. Well, I'm sorry if I'm offending anyone, and I should be more tolerant.
I may bring Sananda back if you'd like to.
Oh, no, don't. I don't want to upset. I feel so bad even saying these things.
Well, wait. But I think what we're up against here is that most of the news that we get is from the propaganda machine and has not been true. So I think this is why he kept trying to underline, we haven't told you what we've been doing. We haven't, we don't know what's really going on.
Our media is terrible. We don't get the truth at all from the media.
That's absolutely true. So whatever you've had painted of him has to be not true.
Well, I hope so. I want to be full of love and be open and change my opinion. I do, but I just felt so shocked by what I heard tonight that I had to just call in and say, hello, send me love and understanding, please, because I'm going to need it. To be more understanding and more open to the change that I'm going to have to see in the president. Does Sananda know if he will be president?
I think you're not alone. And don't you think that this is probably how they talked about Jesus?
Oh, I'm sure of it. But Jesus showed so much love, and I don't sense love.
When he was here. Don't you think this is probably the kind of propaganda that was, spread about him?
Yes.
I bet everybody thought he was weak. That's the way he's presented in the Bible.
Yes. I see what you're saying. But
weak and divisive. That's how they describe Jesus.
But he's not bringing the world together. I don't see it anyway.
Well, you don't see it.
No. I mean, I follow the alternative news. But,
now, let me tell you. Let me reassure you.
Yes.
I thank you for expressing this, because I know there are going to be so many people who are shocked and who are going to have a really hard time with this.
Yes.
So take this as a gift for your own development.
Yes.
So that you work with it, try to open your mind and open your heart and try and see how what he's saying is possible, given what we've heard. Where is the truth? Where is the evidence? It's not obvious.
No.
It's not in the news. So you're going to have to just watch closely and listen carefully. You can hear it in his voice. You can see it in the way he smiles at his wife. The way
I've heard things about that too, so I'm not
talks
so sure
to his children.
Yeah. There's a new book coming out that says they're not close at all, so you never know what to believe.
That's the point. That's the point.
Sure.
So, be patient. Try to open your heart.
Oh, I will.
And try to suspend all judgment.
Yes. That's what I'm going to have to do.
And try to look with fresh eyes.
Yes. It's going to be very hard because I've disliked this president. I thought he was the worst we've ever had. But I always wanted... Yeah. So
that's what a lot of people thought about Jesus, too.
Yes, yes. So it's going to be hard, and I feel so bad feeling this way. But I'm just so shocked. And so
here's the challenge.
Of course. I'll rise to the occasion.
Of course, I figured there are going to be a lot of people who will feel this. So, see
I'm
what
going
happens.
to do my best and rise to the occasion to try and be open-minded and a heart full of love for the man. But I just was so stunned.
You can't go wrong there. Because either way, sending love is going to be good for you, and it's going to be good for everybody.
Absolutely, I know that. But I'm still, it was like somebody hit me over the head when I heard this tonight.
Sure.
And it's hard to understand, but it's going to be very interesting. I'm a great believer in that wonderful things are about to happen to this earth, that we're entering the golden age, that great love is apparent. And I've been talking to the chemtrails to please leave, and all the trees out here, I've been talking to them. And I want to be an animal communicator, which you have expressed such beauty in your animal story. My heart's been so open to a lot, and yet I heard tonight, and I thought, oh, my God, it was just somebody hit me over the head with a 2x4.
Well, here you go, another opportunity to open your heart.
Yes. Well, I don't want to take your time.
Really, it's hard getting news that is so unexpected.
Yes.
But I think we're going to be getting more and more. So get ready.
Well, I'm really expecting wonderful things. I usually am so positive, so up. But and I hope I haven't taken too much of your time in that. Please, everybody, send me love and tolerance and understanding.
Oh, yes.
I'll need it.
We will do that.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kathryn. You are a joy, and so is Meg. And the program is so wonderful. I don't know what so many of us would do without you. And
thank you.
These are lessons along
the
way.
And we send you much love.
Thank you. I'll feel better later, I'm sure.
Good night.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye. Well,
okay.
Yeah, I'm not surprised that somebody is shocked and stunned, and, we've been told how awful he is. Mm-hmm. We've been told incessantly how weak he is and how he hasn't done anything. Even his own party has said that. So I think we're in for some big surprises. And
I'm sure we are.
What's really been going on will be revealed. Can't wait.
Can't wait.
Mm-hmm.
Kathryn, thank you so much. This was just a wonderful, monumental call. Thank you.
Yes, and thank you, Meg. Mm-hmm. I love your what do we got? Your synopsis after I talk. It's really fun for me to hear how you distill it and capture the important things. That it really helps me too.
I feel so bad that you don't hear the words. I want to read it back to you.
I've started downloading them so I can play them while I'm driving, times like that.
Wonderful.
Good to hear it too. Yeah.
Good.
All right. Well, wow.
Wow.
Something.
All right.
Okay, so we will meet again on Sunday.
Wonderful.
Sunday at 2 p.m.
everyone.
Eastern Time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? For the healing call.
Yes, we'll hear more from Sananda. I'm sure he'll have more to say about this after everybody's digested this, so I'm sure we'll hear a follow-up on that day, too.
Oh, boy, I can't wait.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful.
Okay.
Well, love to you,
Good night,
Good night,
Meg. I'm going to put the music on, or if it doesn't come on, I'll ask you to do it. Let's see what happens.
I will. Okay.
Well, mine says it's going on. So I'm on a delay here, I think. Probably because of the rain, so
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and just put play.
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Mhm.
I'll turn it off. Hey. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Hi, Meg.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one. There are people dying. Oh, what a time to lend a hand to life, the greatest gift of all. We can't go on pretending day by day that someone somewhere will soon make a change. We all a part of God's great big family, and the truth, love is all we